Hey guys, I'm Nimbus. I'm back today with another video. As always, it is free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we are all free. I've gone back and forth on whether or not I want to do a reading today because last night during the Super Bowl, when a lot of the West was distracted with that, Is Not Real decided to go in and bomb Rafah. Rafah was the only safe space left in Palestine, and it's about 1.4 million people now living there as refugees in their own country, living in tents, living in disease-ridden streets with, there's bodily waste on the streets, there's decaying bodies everywhere. It's not looking good. And last night, during the Super Bowl, they launched like 60-some airstrikes within an hour. Like, let that sink in. That's insane. On people living in tents. Like, please. So, I need y'all to understand that this is a lot more serious than a lot of people are paying attention to. And this is there's a lot of shit going on that... for lack of a better term, it's more sinister than we can see right now. And there's a lot of shit going on telling us everything's fine, it's great, it's good, this is a good thing. And it's like, how are we supposed to just go back to work and be fine with everything that's going on? Please do not stop talking about Palestine. Do not stop talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo. Do not stop talking about Sudan, Afghanistan, Kurdistan, any of these places, Bangladesh, Haiti, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, any of these places. Free the people, liberate the people. As long as there are still people of these countries, why would we give up fighting? Palestinians are still alive and well. They're not leaving. They've made it clear that if they're going to die, they're going to die in their own land. But what makes no sense to me is that Is Not Real has been so hell-bent on Palestinians suffering because there's no good Palestinians. There's no innocent Palestinians, or civilians, I should say, in Palestine. And what gets me with that is that is actually just collective punishment. There's no other word for that. That is collective punishment. That is by default, by the actual definition, that is actually collective punishment. The whole getting everybody down to the south region of Gaza, that's called ethnic cleansing. And then what is it called when you murder every single person that lives in a country because you don't like them as a person? Or you don't like them as a people for whatever reason? It's insane. It's mind-blowing to me. These are all things we learned as kids that's like, you don't do this to people. But then magically when we're grown, the rules changed because the people just decided that they want to be like this. They want to do this to people. Is Not Real wants to inflict as much harm as possible. Regardless of what the ICJ said. We saw what happened. They said stop killing Palestinians. And what did they do? Killed more Palestinians. Immediately. It wasn't even like, they didn't even give a day of a break. They just immediately went right back to it. So please remind me again how this is not a colonizer state. Please remind me again how this state does not run on white supremacy. Because the only things that we're seeing is that, one, Zionists are the most terrible people in the world, along with other white supremacists / neo-Nazis. These Zionists and neo-Nazis will gladly get you because they want to get you. But of course, don't nobody give a fuck. It's all about gotta make some more money because, oh well, look at that, we're losing money. They're boycotting, we're losing money. Maybe don't be a shitty human being, or maybe don't be a shitty company. Like boasting about ruining people's lives and boasting about funding human rights violations and boasting about funding genocide, but y'all are worried about profits. Y'all got money for war, but can't have money for anything else. Y'all don't have money for community outreach. The U.S. government is always bitching about how we don't have any money for fixing the roads or after-school programs where they can feed children for free. But we got all the money for war, all the money for fighting drag queens, and all the money for funding school shootings. Please make it make sense. But this country is so worried about the kids that we're going across the sea to bomb children. And if we're not the ones bombing them, we're the ones supplying it. Which doesn't make it better. The United States literally went and carpet bombed Yemen because Yemen was the only country who was like, we got to do something with Palestine. We got to help Palestine. Yes, it's a struggle. Yes, it's painful. They know that what they're doing is more worthwhile than than just making sure that they are free over anybody else. They want to help the people who are not free, period. That's what it is. And they got carpet bombed for it. But I think it was the US, Germany, the UK, and I think France was involved with that too. I wouldn't be surprised. But I know for sure it was the US, the UK, and Germany. Of course, Germany never learns. Free Palestine. Free everybody. We will never be free until we are all free. The world will never be free until every single person in this world is free from any of this stuff. A lot of my viewers live in the United States. And that's great. I'm so glad that y'all live in a free country. They're trying so hard to make this country impossible to live in. Everything is for rich people. Nobody has any money. Even groceries. I buy groceries for myself and I'm spending $200 some a week. I know I eat a lot of food, but it's not $200 worth. It's definitely not over $200 worth. But yet we gotta fund war on innocent civilians and children and women. 70% of the people who have been murdered in Palestine, martyred, they have been, 70% of them have been women and children. Let that sink in. Is Not Real is targeting these people. Targeting journalists. Targeting innocent civilians living in tents. Targeting children playing. Trying to make some type of normal life out of this. And Is Not Real is so hell-bent on making life just impossible for these people. It's mind-blowing. Wake the fuck up. See what is actually happening right in front of you. Because it's happening. Today. Yesterday. It's been happening. And it's not going to stop until we all speak up. Say something. And if you're white, I'm so serious about this. If you are white, speak the fuck up. Somebody in your family will hear something that they never wanted to hear before. Somebody in your life will hear you, I promise you. Somebody in your life, for anybody. But especially if you are white, because so many white people sit here saying, well, I didn't own slaves. I have black friends. I'm not genocidal. I'm just whatever. And the whole time they're saying something that's basically worse than what the fuck is going on. Not by those words specifically, but they be thinking them. So what always gets me about that is that people are like, oh, okay, and that's it. Whole time there are human beings being murdered, killed, bombed. Please, 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 please wake up and do your own research. See what is actually happening. There are places, there are websites that you can go that will give you actual, real information on these things. Nobody is trying to get you so involved in this so that you can't think about anything else. But the only thing that people want you to do is pay attention to what is actually happening. Because the more that we sit here and say, oh, I'm fine, this doesn't affect me, the more your own country will gladly put restrictions in place to make life miserable for you. For the people who live anywhere in the West, they are going to try to make it impossible for you to do anything. We see what they're doing to innocent civilians. The United States is literally adding cop cities all over this country. There's one going up in Atlanta and there's another one going up in Washington State. For what? One wasn't enough for y'all? Y'all got to practice, what is it, civilian warfare all over the country? Y'all don't get enough training with the IOF? That's wild. Anyway, before I go crazy, free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we are all free. Liberate everybody. Period. There is no reason why in 2024 this should all still be happening to this caliber. We've seen the aftermath before. We've seen the devastation of these things before. Please, please, please do your own research and wake up. Free Palestine. I think I am going to do a reading today. We're just going to do a mid-February check-in, and yeah. It is Monday the 12th as I'm filming. Yes, let me do one thing really quick. I forgot to light my incense. Shameless plug. If you guys would like to tip me, please join me in donating whatever money you wanted to tip me, and then some if you can. Don't do this if you can't do it. Just if you can donate, please go ahead and donate the money that you were going to tip me if you were, or just go and donate anyway if you can, because human beings need our help. Donate to wherever you want to donate to. Just make sure that the money is going exactly where you think it's going. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you where to donate it to, but do your own research and make sure that the money that you send goes to do exactly what you think it's going to do. Make sure it's not lining some rich guy's pockets, and make sure it's going directly to help the people. If it's going to stuff and the people get the stuff, sure, great, that is awesome. But it better be for free. There's no reason why humanitarian aid should be charged for, especially when money is kind of not an option when you're under siege. It's the same thing with Sudan. Same thing probably with the Democratic Republic of Congo. I don't know about specifics about them. I just know that in Sudan, a lot of the people, well, it's a telecom blackout in Sudan now anyway, so it's not like anybody can transfer money regardless. eSIMs don't work because it's a telecom blackout. There's no signal for anything. Please, 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 please do your own research. Obviously, there's more that I need to do on the Congo, on the Democratic Republic of Congo, but please do your own research. Yeah. As for my one-on-ones, they are open, and I am donating a portion of what I make as well from those. So, yes. Yes. I just can't say it enough. Free Palestine. Free everybody. We will never be free until we're all free. I'm going to say that until I don't have to anymore. Because this shit is mind-blowing to me. The same people saying never again about genocide are the same people who are like, yeah, kill them. I'm like, where's the disconnect? Like where is it? Because y'all said no genocides ever again, and now here y'all are committing genocide. I know that Zionists and Jewish people are not the same, but there's a lot of Jewish people clamping on to the Zionist movement because they're like, oh, this is our homeland. This is our land, and nobody else can touch it. They deserve this. Wasn't that exactly the rhetoric that was used against Jewish people? Like, what's not making sense? Look up anything of what Nazi Germany did, and you'll see that this is literally the same playbook. Sure, less gas chambers. But if you're looking at it, you're seeing people dying in the streets, getting sniped. You're seeing people getting murdered holding a white flag. You're seeing people trying to hide and shelter anywhere that they can. Humans were eating animal food, cooking up grass to try to make something sustainable for them. But genocide should never happen again, unless it's them. Or them. Or them. Or them. Just not us. Like, what sense does that make? Like, genuinely asking, what sense does that make? Because y'all really don't make sense. And I'm not talking about all Jews, because it's not all Jews. There's a lot of Jewish people who are like, we said never again. We said it. Why is it happening again? Let alone by us, by people claiming to be Jewish, by people who are running the Jewish homeland, the Jewish state. Free Palestine. Anyway, before I really give myself a heart attack, because I keep almost doing it, let's get started. We're going to use the Tarot Golden Black Edition today. If you guys would like to breathe with me, let's get breathing. Oh, we're also going to do our pride message and our swearing affirmation as well, or our swearing affirmations as well at the end. If you guys would like to breathe with me, let's get breathing. Otherwise, skip to right here, and you can skip right past the breathing. But yeah, so if you guys do want to breathe, go ahead and put your hands flat down on the table in front of you or flat down in your lap. Go ahead and place your feet flat down on the floor and sit up straight. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth, about a count of 4 each. Don't hold it. We're not doing anything crazy. But if you do need to breathe slower or faster, whatever you need to do that. Keep breathing with me. Like, you don't need to pause it. You don't need to skip ahead if you don't want to. But just really don't hurt yourself. Yeah. So let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes and breathe in through your nose. In and out through your mouth. In, out. 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 In, last one. And out. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed and breathe normally for a minute. Releasing any tension from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. I usually just do some little neck stretches and some shoulder rolls and stuff. So I usually get a lot of tension up in my shoulders. But do whatever you need to do. Alright, take one more deep breath in and out. Go ahead and slowly open your eyes and breathe normally. Alright guys, if you guys need more time, go ahead and pause it now, otherwise we are going to get started. Sorry, I definitely needed to calm down. Somebody on Twitter earlier said there's no words anymore, just pure rage. They're hoping we get quiet about it. They're hoping we stop talking. They hope we stop communicating with each other through TikTok and Twitter as equals. They wish we didn't get along. They wish people couldn't communicate across the world. They really do, because they're not happy with the fact that everybody around the world now is waking up. Granted, it's taken a while, but people are waking up all over the world. People are finally seeing what their countries are doing. Again, it's taken a very long time, but they're finally seeing what's going on. What's actually happening. And for that specifically, I am very grateful. Anyway, during this video, I want you guys to think about things that you are grateful for, because there's so many people around the world right now who I don't want to cry. I didn't come on here to cry. But there's so many people around this world who don't even have the simplest things like clean water. There's people in this country who don't have clean water. You don't have to go far for a lot of these things. You don't have to go far for people struggling from hunger. You don't have to go far for any of these things. But if you do look further, there are people struggling more than you and I could ever imagine having to live through. And if we ever did, a lot of us would fold immediately. And I mean immediately. The second something happens, they're checked out. They're done. They're gone. They've done it themselves. Because they don't know how to handle this stuff. And the videos of the human beings that we've seen across the world living with these things and trying to show what's going on, they are some of the strongest people I've ever seen. Be grateful for what you have. Because soon, very soon, things are going to look a lot different. I don't know when, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know for a fact that people are fed up, and once people get fed up enough, you have a revolution. So, do with that information what you will. I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody, but I want y'all to be ready. Get ready. Because at this point, nobody knows what the fuck is actually going to happen. But once a revolution starts, it's not going to stop until it's over. And I mean that. The system, the societal system that we have as a whole cannot sustain us. But that's what you get when you start an entire world system on slavery and colonialism and murdering human beings just because they look different than you or talk different than you or whatever it is. Celebrate different holidays, whatever it is. We've watched it time and time again. So please, be grateful for the things that you have. Anyway. Okay. Let's get started on the Gold and Black Tarot edition. Or Tarot Gold and Black edition, whatever it's called. So today is Monday the 12th as I'm recording this. And we're just going to do a mid-February check. There we go. Alright, Spirit, what is our message for today for our mid-February energy check? Got the Hanged Man reversed. Okay. Yeah. The Four of Swords as well. And the Five of Swords. The Hanged Man reversed is telling me that there's something that you've tried to get over that is still holding you back. And it's not holding you back in the sense of you'll never get through it, but it's like a trigger that won't go away. Almost like maybe you've tried to heal it and it won't. The Four of Swords, you know, it's about trying to take your time to, what's the word? Reconcile, I think, is the word, with yourself. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that weighs on us. But when we're able to, like, sit with ourselves, recuperate. Sorry, not reconcile, recuperate. When we're able to sit there and recuperate with ourselves and, like, actually, like, take some time, the Five of Swords doesn't seem as scary as it did before. You know what I mean? The Five of Swords represent some type of upset, some kind of, you know, he has 3 swords in his hand. He's carrying 3 different swords. There are 2 on the ground, and then 2 people are walking away. And it's almost, it's not like this point of no return, but, okay, the Sun reversed. It's not a point of no return, but it's definitely like a point of like, okay, things will be different after this. Like, they're going to be different after this. And it seems like there could be some kind of like self-centered energy coming from this. Like, maybe you think you did so well with the Five of Swords that it's like, oh, I'm the best, I'm the shit, you know? Queen of Cups. Okay. But there's also like this understanding of like what really needs to happen. Like she's holding such an ornate cup that it's like this energy of like understanding that sometimes things, you're gonna feel some type of way about some things. You know what I mean? Triggers are gonna happen, things are gonna come up, people that you don't like are gonna show up, whatever it is. But we can't let that get us out of who we truly are with the sun in reverse. We can't let that change and shift who we are or what we're showing to people because of what other people are saying. You know what I mean? Or doing, for that matter. The Ten of Pentacles. There's definitely a ton of growth happening with all of this. And it has to do with standing in your own power and really, like, shining your own light. One card at a time, please, Spirit. The Hermit and the Chariot reverse just flipped over at the same time. I don't know if either of those mean anything for you guys. The Two of Cups just came out, so there could be some kind of balance that needs to happen. But it seems like it is more about making a choice about what's gonna do better for you in what you do, and like how you're gonna do it. Like, how are you gonna handle all this sympathy? How are you gonna handle understanding that other people are gonna be different from you? How are you gonna handle these things? Because there's one card at a time, please, Spirit. There's ways to handle these things without being insane. Temperance. With Temperance, I mean, talk about bringing stuff into balance. I mean, there's always going to be conflicting energies that you have to figure out what to do with. You know what I mean? There's always going to be conflicting energies that you got to figure out where they go. But yeah, like sometimes we just get to a point where there's just a lot of energy around us and we can't even really tell if it's ours, if we need to do something with it, if we got to transmute it, if somebody else threw this at us and we got to just get rid of it, like what, like, you know what I mean? So we always do just have to figure out what it is, and with that, bring it into balance for us. If that means getting rid of some of the energy, that means getting rid of some of the energy. You know what I mean? The Eight of Wands just came out. There's kind of like this, you know, eights are about growth and expansion, that kind of thing. But there's definitely this feeling of like, there's no more delay. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it soon. Otherwise, you need to change what you're doing. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you should be good, and whatever you want and desire should be coming in soon. But if you're not doing what you should be doing, you need to get on it and figure out what it is that you actually need to be doing. But with that being said, I think you know what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, the Four of Cups. Yeah, I mean, with the cup being handed to him, this is like, there's like this feeling of like rest and rejuvenation, but also like Spirit, Source, God is like trying to get you back up to doing these things again, like just going back to what you were doing before. And it's almost like you're like dissatisfied with it. 222 as I say that. It's almost like you're dissatisfied with it in the sense of maybe you just want things to be different, or maybe you just maybe you want to change the path that you're on or something. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. Free will exists. Like, don't take what I'm saying as the end-all be-all for you, because I'm just one reader on YouTube doing a collective reading. You know what I mean? The world did just come out, so I mean, it's this whole feeling of completion. You know what I mean? Like, if you're able to accept this blessing coming in and figure out why you're dissatisfied and why you're kind of like, I don't really want to deal with that right now. Like, if you figure that out, the completion and the actual, the things that you're looking for will probably come in a little bit quicker. Well, yeah, the Three of Cups reversed. And there could be like somebody coming into your life who's gonna be very meaningful. But this doesn't feel like a love interest. This feels like a community kind of thing. Like you have people to go to if you need somebody. You know what I mean? You have somebody to go get some salt from if you need some salt, or some sugar for your coffee, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And maybe that could be something that you're dissatisfied with. Maybe you don't have enough friends. Maybe you, like, as in maybe you don't have as many friends as you want to have. You know, making friends is hard. But I wonder, justice reversed. Something is definitely out of balance, and there's definitely a decision that needs to be made. Whatever comes to mind as I say that is probably what you need to be thinking about. Spirit, what's the last card? What's the last card? Okay. And the last card is Five of Cups reversed. And we got the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I mean, with the Five of Cups reversed, there's almost like this feeling of just like, give yourself time. If you need some time to grieve somebody you lost, if you need some time to grieve whatever it is. Like, and the Queen of Wands is just really there for like self-growth, self-discovery, you know, actual big things. Like, yeah, I mean, if there's something in your life that you've lost, say an old friend that you had that you guys have just gone different directions in life, like nothing, no fallouts or anything, you just don't talk anymore or whatever. Those can be hard to deal with, especially when we still, you know, when we still like that person, we still enjoy being around that person. But sometimes the growth has to happen in those moments because we still want to be with that person. We still want to spend time with that person. The growth is never going to happen when you're comfortable. It's just not. And it's unfortunate, but we have to keep in mind that the human experience is really about growth. We're growing all the time. And it's not always comfortable. / growth should really not ever be comfortable, because it's not going to be growth. Like I said. You know, you can balance everything out as much as you need to, but if you're not actually applying new things to it as in your life, or like to yourself as a person, none of that growth is going to happen, because there's nothing to grow from. You know what I mean? You know, unless you're really ready and willing to like actually go the extra mile and like actually do a shit ton of extra work, we stay in this kind of space of, and that could be why the Hermit came out before, you know, just made an appearance, because when we step back and we're able to like really retreat into, pause, but into ourselves, we're able to better understand where we come from, what's happened to us, why we did the things that we did in our past, that kind of thing. And from answering those questions, that growth can happen a little bit easier, because then we know where we came from and we kind of have an idea of where we want to go forward. You know what I mean? There's still going to be work to be done after you get rid of triggers and after you grieve. There's still work to be done. But it's not necessarily just terrible. You know what I mean? It's not just going to be difficult work that nobody ever wants to do. Some people are going to be more inclined to want to do it than others, but there's not this feeling of, well, I don't need to do it. You know what I mean? There's this feeling of, okay, well, I do want things to be different, and I kind of have been asking for things to be different, so let me just figure out what it is I have to actually do, you know? Yeah. And if you need to take some rest, you need to take some rest. We got the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. Rest and rejuvenation if we need to. If you need to go take a nap, go take a nap. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if it would help, if it's beneficial to you to just go and take a nap instead of dealing with some stuff for a couple hours, and then when you come back from the nap you feel better and can actually deal with stuff, why not just go take a nap? Yeah. Anyway, let's do our pride message really quick. Let's get our pride message going. And then we'll do our sweary affirmation. Alright, Spirit, what is our pride messages for the middle of February? Peace. It's what we fight for and what we deserve. Don't settle for less than total release from transpiring toxicity, detrimental opinions, and oppressive actions. Then we got strength. It's time to take your power back. It's easy to get lost in thought that has been influenced by other people's opinions, but don't let it distract you. You've got this. I know I didn't say it quite like that, but there's been a lot of talking about reclaiming recently, not necessarily in this video, but I've been talking about reclaiming that energy recently, like a lot. But this does tie in with this reading too, because when you have the peace and you have the strength to fight for that peace, you can pretty much do anything. You know, the triggers, they hurt, or you might feel them, but they don't like attack. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Because you know that once you're past that, that's it. They don't have much more power over you because you're not letting it affect you like that. But yeah. And then celebration. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. Life is too short to waste your time in the company of toxic people who discourage you from being your true self. And that's always what I talk about opening up that space for other people to be genuine and authentic with you. Because when you do that, you open up a space for everybody to be genuine and authentic. Other people open up that space for you, and you open up that space for other people. So then it's just this whole air of just celebrating whoever you are. It doesn't matter who you are, because who you are is perfect, and who you are is beautiful, and who you are is amazing. It doesn't matter. As long as you're being your authentic self, people will love you for you because you're being authentic. That's it. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to be a TikTok star. You don't have to be anything. You can just be you. Let's do our sweary affirmation really quick. All right. Spirit, what is our sweary affirmation for the day? Or what is our sweary affirmation for the middle of February? I trust in myself because I am a total badass. Period. And that trust comes from being able to sit with yourself and be yourself. Once you learn where it is you need to go, all of this stuff will pretty much fall into place because there's not a question about it anymore. You already know what it is you want. You already know where it is you want to go. So why wouldn't it just happen? You know what I mean? Anyway. At the risk of repeating myself too many times today, I am going to end it here. That is all I'm seeing for you guys today. Please, 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 please make sure that you guys are standing in your own power and that you guys are standing for what you know is correct. Yeah. Life is hard enough having to watch all these things happen and having to deal with people who don't get it and all this stuff. But we make it much harder on ourselves when we let other people take that power from us. And life just gets harder when we let other people take that power from us. That's why we got to take our power back and really stand up for what we know is right. Because if we stand up for what we know is right, then we know that other people know that what they're doing could probably be wrong. So then either they change because they just got educated on something different, or you change and you got educated on something different, or they stay the same and they keep doing the same stuff. And same thing with you. Not in a bad way. You're allowed to do whatever you want. Again, free will exists. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. But when your free will says that I can do this because whatever, and the only thing you're doing is hurting people, I don't think that's right. And that shows where your morals will be instead of mine. But yes, anyway, do not stop talking about Palestine. Don't stop talking about Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Afghanistan, Haiti, Hawaii, Kurdistan, Yemen. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Honestly, it's mind-blowing. Just please do your research, see what is actually going on, and keep talking about it. Free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we're all free. But yeah, that is all I'm seeing for you guys today. So I am going to close out the reading. Thank you guys for watching. Please do like, share, comment, subscribe if you guys want to. If you guys do subscribe, please hit the notification bell. Get notified whenever I post. And yeah, my website is NimbusThePoet.com if you guys would like to book a one-on-one. Again, I am donating part of what I make to various organizations. Care for Gaza and the PCRF are at the top of the list right now. But yeah, again, if there are people alive in these countries resisting, why would we not help them fight? Why would we stop fighting for them? Genuinely asking. But yeah. Please make sure you do your own research. Stay educated. Stay up to date. But yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I love y'all. Have the day that y'all deserve. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.